WFIU, Bloomington, Indiana, where you don't need to be an expert if you learn something new every day.
Hello, I'm Ernie Pyle, the Hoosier Vagabond, and this is That Girl Who Rides With Me.
I am very wild, Ernest.
Welcome back to the Ernie Pyle Experiment, Episode 13, Gone with the Wind.
You are very earnest, Ernest. I am not very earnest, Ernest. I am very angry, Ernest. I don't have what you have. We share everything but one thing. I know why you left me at home. I was so very happy to be back in the car with you. I celebrated too much. I don't know if you're ever going to hear this. I don't know if I could ever tell you these things to your face. Writing is important to you. I don't want to take that away in any way. I don't want to change how you work. I don't want you to have to think about me or anything else in regards to how you work or what you want to write or any of it. This column is to be worshipped. And work of any kind, any gainful employment is important right now, and we are so fortunate to have what we do. And it's because of your unique way about you, your talent, this game. Nobody writes like you. Anywhere. You put them all to shame. I know what you have in you. Nobody knows what potential you have like I do. Why should I ever want to get in the way of that? This is business. So I forgive you. Even though you just left me here. Why don't we ever talk about where I fit into the operation? We don't have grand State of the Union addresses to each other about how things are or what we're planning for the coming year or what is expected of each other. I know. I prefer it this way. Nothing exists until words make it so. I don't know if you even know that I've been thinking about this. I do have the words in my head. But nothing changes, so nothing exists. So here goes. What do you think of me, Ernie? What am I to you? I'm having a hard time. I really love traveling with you. I love being in the car. I think I feel the closest to you in the car. There's an empty piece in me right here, right now, that I don't know how to be with. I don't even know how to talk about it. And I know that would be filled by being in that seat next to you. We are perfect in that car. I think whatever happens there is my greatest contribution to this life, and I wish people could see it. You can't type while you drive, you can't interview anybody. I get to be involved in that long, protracted dialogue we have about words. I love that. I love embracing the questions and the colloquial barriers, seeing where things fit, looking at the world that is equally as beautiful as all of America ahead of us, that only exists inside our two goofy little heads. Just you and me. And story. I need that. I need story. I need to be involved. I need to inhale it like air and be filled with it. I don't like looking at folks like they are. I need to see them with a few qualifiers wrapped around them. That way the world becomes interesting to me. And I could be with it. And I like talking about people like that and places and ideas, and I just crave it. Like I crave you. In the car, just driving to the next story or away from the last, which happens at the same time, doesn't it? What do you think, Ernie? What do you think of me? Me, I am right here. And I'm afraid you don't want me with you anymore. That this entire thing belongs to you. The job and the car and the whole business. Maybe I'm talking nonsense, as you probably say. When it gets down to it, I'm just not seeing it any other way. So I have a proposition, or just something to say, something to tell you. And I'm not asking. This is your craft, your work and business. I understand. Am I lying to myself that I'm a part of it? Has our love changed? Do you need me? So, I have to tell you this.
Jerry!
In here, Rosie!
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, you look 100% better.
Think so?
I do. How much water have you been drinking?
A lot of water. I always have a big glass.
I can't tell you how important that is, Jerry. When I first got a hold of you, you were flat as a folded blanket. Every system in the body works better if you're not dehydrated.
You were saying.
Take off your sweater, dear. But the water drinking is working, honey. You look terrific. I mean that.
Thanks.
The circles under your eyes are gone. Are you wearing makeup?
No.
Fooled me. Okay, quiet now.
Always feels funny. Sorry.
Respond by shaking your head. Have you been eating? Good. Red meat. Good. I've brought you a nice big steak. You can cut it up or eat the entire thing at once, up to you. But sear both sides in an iron skillet and take it out. You are to eat it as rare as you can.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, all right. Blood pressure is safe. See? Water works wonders. Is your skin dry?
No.
Everything's working. Have you had a drink of anything else?
No.
Jerry?
I haven't.
You don't have to lie.
I'm not lying.
May I smell your breath? Lovely. I have to say, I am proud of you. You are going to be just fine. You are just fine.
I never thought I'd make it to this point.
Well, you were bad. I've seen worse, but you were in pretty bad shape.
Thank you again for staying with me, Rosie. Those first 2 days were really hard.
You think I was here just 2 days? Jerry, I was here almost 5 days.
No.
Yes.
Oh, I had no idea. I'm so sorry.
All in a day's work. Have you finished Gone with the Wind?
3 times.
See, I told you.
I didn't like it at first. And it was just sitting there, so I read it again. Then I liked it the second time, so I read it again to make sure.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am. I was just so mad at Ernie for leaving me here. Cheered me up when a bunch of men started killing each other, so I might even read it again.
Everyone is talking about it. Everyone in town. Men and women both.
Margaret Mitchell's really done a swell job of it.
I hope she puts another out soon.
Yeah, I'm interested in that too.
It's different to read about us by one of us.
It sure is, isn't it?
I wonder if men ever complain about the male characters in a Wharton book, or Willa Cather.
That's why I don't let Ernie write anything about me. Maybe next time I'll drink myself to death so the sanction gets lifted and he can write about me. Oh, wouldn't it just make you so mad if some man came along and wrote about you after you were dead?
They won't buy a book about me, but you.
There might be 1 or 2 about Ernie one day. The way he's going, then suppose I'd be included.
What do you think they'll write about you?
Nothing.
Is that what you want? Do you want to be forgotten about?
I already am.
But do you want to be?
No.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So, what do you want to do about it?
Nothing.
We love holding our own heads underwater, don't we? All we need to do is breathe. It's actually easy to do if you hate yourself enough.
Stop. I know what you're doing, and it won't work.
Okay. One thing. Drinking as much as you do will kill you. I am a nurse. I see it all the time. I know this. I also know that drinking isn't the problem most of the time.
That's 2 things.
I've helped people, Jerry. I am good at it. You have no control over yourself. Here's a secret. I don't either. Nobody does. Now what? So, go drink. I'm not going to handcuff you.
I'm not going to drink anymore.
I don't care. I mean, I do. I just don't care about platitudes.
Then stop making them.
That's funny. I should know better than to use big words you would know the proper usage of.
You can try. I don't mind.
Okay, look. Let's stay in your purview. I think I'm using that word right?
We'll see.
Okay, so... Scarlett O'Hara.
What about her?
She goes from a leisure society debutante to a survivor of war to an entrepreneur. Does she remind you of anybody?
No.
Nobody? Think hard.
I don't know. Could be anybody.
She reminds me of you.
I am not an entrepreneur.
Not yet.
So, you're saying I'm a debutante and a war survivor. Well, I've already got the first 2 stages of Scarlett O'Hara.
So what's the next phase?
Hell if I know!
I do. You need to rebuild Tara, Scarlett.
I've never had a Tara.
Everybody has. Come now.
Even if they do, what's the point? Really? What is the point of this?
Tara is just a...
I know what Tara is, Rosie. I appreciate what you're trying to do
So
here.
sue me. I want something for you, Jerry. I want you to be alive tomorrow. Sometimes a person needs some inspiration.
I don't get that from people.
Where do you get it?
From being quiet!
Okay.
Listen, I'll talk with you all day long, but don't insult me by trying to teach me something about myself. That's not talking, that's telling. I'll take your friendship, not your curriculum.
Okay. You are tough.
I grew up in an asylum. I just know what these questions are about.
So you don't want help.
No, I don't need help. I don't need that kind of help.
What kind
The kind where you talk about something else.
Let's talk about suicide, then.
Oh, boy.
Why are you drinking yourself slowly to death when jumping off a cliff is faster?
You tell me.
I will. You want someone to come save you, scoop you up in their arms right before you jump. And by drinking yourself slowly to death, that part about right before you jump lasts just a bit longer.
You calling me chicken?
In a roundabout way, I suppose.
Well, this conversation just got morbid. I like it a lot better now.
So, you really don't want to die. You just want to be saved.
Like Scarlett with Ashley.
Exactly. And no matter what she schemed, he never did.
He was a short-sighted man.
And a good judge of character. Would have been sad had Scarlett just given up.
The book would have been a lot shorter.
That might be a good thing. If someone came by and saved you, be it Ashley Wilkes or Ernie Pyle, you never would become the woman to rebuild Tara. It'd be accomplished for you, not by you.
It didn't get done.
By someone else. And you'd always be upset living in a house where nobody asked your opinion about any of the design details.
That's true.
So, what'll it be?
Rosie, you're doing it again. Please change the subject.
If you want something, that tells me you are okay with living. I can check your vitals, make sure you're hydrated and aren't anemic, the regular stuff. But if you are just going to slip into another hole...
I'm not. I'm fine. Just leave me alone.
I will. Just as soon as you tell me what you want.
It isn't any of your business.
I just told you it was.
I don't want. Leave me alone. Wanting something is painful. I am trying to not want anything most of the time.
You're trying.
Most of the time, yes.
So you do want something.
No, you're tricking me.
Well, sure. You want to not want anything, which means you want something. So what is it?
I don't know.
Might as well yearn for something, Jerry. Something deep inside you wants to flourish, succeed, and thrive.
I need a drink.
That'll throw all of this out the window.
What out the window? What's here anyway?
You drink to forget about the work it takes to flourish.
Oh, are we back here already? I'm not gonna drink anymore. I told you that.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I don't care, Rosie. You've checked on me. I'm fine. You see I'm fine. I'm not drinking. Thanks for the visit. Time to go.
It's the war. Can't you see?
What?
It's taken your Tara. And all of your awareness and understanding of such things. Your innocence. Your truth.
Rosie, go tell somebody who cares, would you?
What would Scarlett O'Hara do?
I have no idea. What would Scarlett do? She'd make a dress. Well, I can't make a dress out of these flour sack drapes.
What would she do?
She'd fight you.
She'd fight you. But first, she'd figure out what she wanted.
All right, sit. Get the hell out of here. I don't need to be taught anything anymore. Can't you just converse like a normal person? I'm fine. Rosie, I'm fine.
I can't tell if you're being serious.
I'm always serious. Out! Out!
All right, I'm going.
Out! Get out! Get the hell out!
Eat that steak!
Get out! You should have seen. You should see the look on her face. She you. So, why am I here all alone? Why? Ernie, why? I'm fine now. Come back and get me. I want to laugh. I want to laugh with you. I won't drink anymore. I promise. Come back right now, damn it. Nobody understands me here. I know I'm too much. I always have been. I know why you left me here. Oh my gosh. She thinks I'm a complete lunatic. That's so funny. Oh, I can't wait for her to come back. I'm gonna do it to her again. Okay. I was about to tell you my idea. I have an idea. I was gonna tell you just before Rosie barged in on me, and it was a good idea. I hope you think it's a good idea. I love the look on your face when I give you the right word. The corner of your mouth lifts up and you shake your head. You love me then. I am in pursuit of that look on your face. I want to live there in that point in time. What you may not understand is when you stop asking me for that word, I don't feel necessary. So my idea is this. I will be a good girl. I will not drink. But I have to find another way of getting that look on your face. One that might not have anything to do with you. One that won't be asking your permission or waiting for your approval. I hope you can take it. Because I won't be available at all times to help you. You're gonna have to go fly a kite. And I'm scared. I have something I want to say. I don't fully know what it is yet. It's scary. Because what if I let it out? And what if there's nothing there? What if everything I feel comes down to nothing? And I hear nothing but silence. And what if I like it there? I have all these thoughts in my head right now about it. Why aren't you here with me right now? I hate you. If you were here, I would let you have it. Boy, would I let you have it for doing this. Here is my grand idea. I'm going to write. I'm sick and tired of people looking at me like I'm not there. It happens to me all the time that people look right at me and don't see me. Like I'm some sort of almost person. Almost writer, almost wife, almost Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Rosie! Rosie! This is what she was talking about. I already knew what I wanted. Rosie! I'm so sorry. Rosie! Hey, something! And I always did! I'm gonna be a goddamn writer, Rosie! I'm gonna write a book! I'm gonna write a book! Hey, Ernie. Can you handle it?
I will ride with you when the skies turn gray. I will ride with you if you don't speak my name. And I will lie with you in the cool summer rain. I will lie with you if you don't say my name. The morning light can sometimes break your heart, dear, and the bottle's there to carry us away. The surest plans will always catch on fire. And dreams are just a sad excuse to stay. I will ride with you without ever touching down. I will ride with you, always lost and never found. I will play for you every day that we're apart. I will play for you from the end back to the start. The morning light can sometimes break your heart, dear, and the bottle's there to carry us away. The surest plans will always catch on fire, and dreams are just a sad excuse to stay. I will ride with you forever on this road, and to the house we built in old New Mexico. And I will search with you for a thing we'll never find. I will whisper low, it's so alone inside. The morning light can sometimes break your heart, dear. The bottle's there to carry us away. The surest plans will always catch on fire, and dreams are just a sad excuse to stay. I will ride with you when the skies turn gray. I will ride with you if you don't speak my name. I'm Dan V. Prescott. The good road will never end if you can only stay on it.
The Ernie Pyle Experiment is produced at WFIU on the campus of Indiana University. For complete credits of cast and crew for each episode and to find past episodes, visit WFIU.org/Ernie Pyle Podcast. Also, find the Ernie Pyle Experiment wherever you access your media.
WFIU, Bloomington, Indiana. A funny thing, a meme circulating through the social media realm in recent days has me, Carry On trending. You like me. You really like me. I've never trended before. Hey, Bloomington, I'm trending. So much so that I've been getting voiceover requests from all over the United States and Canada. Russia has called. I don't know what they want, but I gave them a ridiculous figure of cash reimbursement, and they didn't balk. So I'm going to Moscow tomorrow. I don't even speak Cyrillic, but now my quote has never been higher, folks. Oh, I give you all permission to never say Ornanen again. You kids are something else. I'm Carry On. Good night and good riddance.
Hello, this is Russell Mcgee, one of the producers of the Ernie Pyle Experiment, and I'm joined in the studio here with...
I'm Michael Brainard.
I'm Greta Lind.
And
All right. Yeah, Mike. So how did this whole Ernie Pyle Experiment come about? What drew you to Ernie?
Well, I've been writing on Ernie for about 30 years. I love Ernie Pyle, and I love his writing. I suppose that's why, you know.
Now, you shared a story about your time in New York and how you encountered Ernie Pyle, if you will.
Right.
So how about you share a little bit about that story as
Well,
far as...
Ernie Pyle's long dead, right? I mean, he
right.
died during the war. So, but there's a lot of people that don't know that. There are people that do. We are here in the hotbed of Ernie Pyle for sure, in Indiana, and so most people are kind of introduced to him. I didn't know who he was. I was in a used bookstore. I had just gotten a part on All My Children, ABC soap opera, and this was 1988, 89, and I had moved from Los Angeles and just picked up stakes and moved myself out at the age of 23 to New York City. And I didn't have any friends or any, infrastructure in a family way, in any way, shape, or form. It was just myself, and in order to keep myself sane and not, bored, silly, or whatever, I'd read. I just read a lot. I didn't have enough money to do much of anything else, and the books I was buying, I would buy at a used bookstore. And there was this used bookstore in Lincoln Center, right near where our studio was. And so on the way home, I would always stop in. And one day I was there, and I was just pulling books off the shelves. And I pulled this one book off, and kind of stuck to that book was this other book. And that book fell to the ground at my feet. And, you hear this happening, that was the Ernie Pyle book. And I picked it up. What's this? And that started it. I was fascinated immediately.
And Greta,
Yes.
So how did you meet this crazy guy who's come up with this whole concept?
Well, Michael and I knew each other from All My Children. I was on for a year, and Michael was my love interest.
Yeah.
Or I was his love interest.
One of them.
I was the
Oh.
other.
Well, we all had multiple.
Yes, I was the
Love
virginal nurse that we were. Anyway, he was married to someone else.
I know. I was married, and,
Yeah.
and your character was
Yeah.
hell-bent on destruction.
No, not at all. Just as sweet as they come.
Yeah.
So we knew each other from that, but I had taken several years off of Facebook and got back on, and this was what, 2.5 years ago? I get this message from this guy, Michael Brainard. Greta, is that you? I said, yeah. And I was like, Michael, oh my God, Michael Brainard. Yeah, on my children, I was like, yeah, it's me. He said, Facebook strikes again. I remember it was so funny. And you said, do you live in Bloomington? And I said, yeah. And you said, I'm coming with my wife and gonna meet an expert on Ernie Pyle. And would you like to meet us for a drink? And I said, sure.
And what were you doing here then?
Well, when I had written this play, War is Coming, Ernie Pyle. And we had done it at a college in Missouri about 2.5 years ago, which is why we came here to Bloomington, my wife and I. And that's when we saw Greta. So we were there in Missouri doing this production for about 6-7 weeks. And we had a week off, so we went to Dana, to Ernie's, the State Historic Site there in the museum of Ernie Pyle's, and we saw that, and we met some people there, really nice people. Came here to Bloomington to meet with Owen Johnson, who used to be a professor here at IU, and he taught a class on Ernie Pyle in the journalism school.
And actually does have a role in this, correct?
And he does have a role in this.
Yeah.
Of course, he's excited, and I'm excited to have him too. And so I came out here because he had set up a Facebook page. That's how I got to know him from Los Angeles. He had a Ernie Pyle Facebook page. And so we became, friends from that. And so I came here I call him the Pope of Pyle. So I came here to kiss the ring. So he asks me if I want to come out to National Ernie Pyle Day last year, which they had here on campus at IU in the right next to the Ernie Pyle statue. There's a big room in that building, the media building.
Right.
And so there was Joe Galloway, who's a famous war correspondent from Vietnam. He was there as the keynote, and I showed up, and they had me read 2 of Ernie's pre-war pieces that are in our podcast, the Wind story and the Snake story. And it went over quite well. And essentially, by the time I left here, the folks here at WFIU got a hold of us and said, is there a podcast about Pyle? I said, no. He said, well, maybe there should be.
I'm Owen Johnson. I've been studying Ernie Pyle for more than 20 years.
Yeah. He knows more about Ernie Pyle than any man alive. I'm a close second, but I don't even think that's close. We could talk just about anything, essentially, about Pyle. I mean, we can go back and forth about obscure data. But what I want to talk about is Jerry. And I guess what we don't know is almost everything about her.
That's right. We do have one article that was published in an obscure Minnesota magazine by a member of her family. We have no way of knowing whether what they were writing was true or not. We have a little bit of testimony from her sister, who knew that she had some mental health issues. We have some letters that she wrote to mutual friends of theirs in Albuquerque. He was the editor of the newspaper in Albuquerque and had known Pyle for a long time. And we have 6 columns, I think it is, that supposedly were written by Jerry, and perhaps she did the first draft and then he polished it because they were published in place of his column.
Yeah. And when we talked about that over the years about how much was she involved in his writing, and it's just easy to say, well, it's possible that she sat in quite a bit. We just don't know. She knew how he wrote.
I think initially she was his muse. Yeah. She inspired his writing.
Yeah.
She critiqued it. And at the beginning, as with any beginning writer, his writing wasn't as good as it later was. And most certainly she made some suggestions that he incorporated. And eventually, because of her declining health, he improved and he was able to do it on his own.
Yeah.
He missed that.
Yeah.
And I think the letters that he wrote, to which he often received no answers when he was overseas during World War II, showed a retained affection for her. He knew that she was, what shall we say, three-sided. And one part in which she made no sense that she displayed to him, but hardly to anybody else. Ernie Pyle had a great ability to understand people. You see that in his writing.
Yeah.
And I think part of that, he honed his ability living with her.
Sure.
And she, they had to have had great repartee in the early years, just playing off each other. She liked to do these double cross-stick puzzles. She had a wonderful understanding of words.
Yeah.
And in that sense, it's a real shame that she didn't write stuff on her own.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something missed there for sure. Yeah, I think that about them as having that long-standing conversation about language and writing and just words in general and wordplay. You know, I think that was something that was probably in development for Ernie his entire writing career. I mean, you read those early aviation columns, and some of them are quite anemic, you know, and then some of them aren't. Some of them are really beautiful and in depth, you know.
Well, when you think he was writing, 900 words a day, 6 days a week. Nobody can be great all that time. Just imagine if Hemingway had to do that, or John Dos Passos, or somebody else.
Yeah, that's right.
They understood each other, I think, even in silence. If they were driving and they weren't talking, they understood that neither one of them really wanted to talk. Pyle may have been thinking about future columns in his head. We don't know for sure what she was thinking. And then she would start to talk. She was manic depressive in a time that they didn't understand what that was. Mm-hmm. And I can imagine in manic times, she was full of life and energy and creativity. Yeah. But unfortunately, the down periods became more frequent as time went on.
Yeah. She's a fascinating character, you know, and she's the dramatic structure of this piece, the entire piece, you know. With Ernie, you would have to, I don't know, take him in a day-to-day way and really hunt for something as your dramatic structure. But with Jerry, it's a slam dunk.
I know when we started the process of auditioning that you were concerned, maybe not the right exact word choice there, but we wanted to make sure that we found an actor that was of the right caliber to match Ernie and be able to play off against Ernie and find the right Jerry.
Yeah.
And can you talk about that?
Oh, yeah. Greta was a blessing, how it happened. I didn't know she was going to be in this. You know, I didn't at all.
Me neither.
Yeah.
So no favoritism.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was. This was very last minute, actually.
There was another girl who's a friend of both of ours from All My Children that I was going to try to get out here, Katie McLean. She had been a part of my writing process from the play to also doing these episodes and workshopping it in L.A. Yeah. Right. So I would get to a certain point with these episodes, and I'd have her show up with a few other actor friends, and we'd read through these things. And it's part of the process of seeing what works, what wasn't working. And she was terrific. But she's also a director now. And so she has a couple of projects she's trying to get off the ground. She just couldn't come out and do it.
Right.
So, I reluctantly packed all my clothes in a suitcase and came out here for the casting process, not knowing if I was going to get somebody of her caliber.
And we had, just so the audience at home knows this, the day of, we ended up having 67 actors audition on one day. That meant that we extended the auditions twice, and we went from 10 a.m. to 10:30 at night with just one break to see all of the actors that we could in that short span.
Yeah. Yeah, I read with all of them.
Wow.
And what has it been like for both of you switching over into a completely different format as far as, like, we've talked about this off and on, but, like,
it's weird.
You've worked on stage, you've worked in film.
Yeah.
What's it like to do radio, audio?
Well, I think that the sound studio is my new happy place. It feels so, it's like this cocoon where we are here with one another in a very close way.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like anything that arises, I feel like I show up raw. And I feel that the guidance actually from each of you, Michael and Russell, at any given point just lifts me into a certain space, and I can go there. And then I can go there. And it really feels immediate and alive and kind of freeing, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing that that we speak the same language, you and I.
Yeah.
Well, again, you're talking about method, and we have that Meisner connection.
I know. We've ended up relying on each other. It's an amazing fit, I really, truly hope that we're able to do this again.
I do too.
Right. It's a big learning process. I've never done anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to expect, and frankly, I was a bit intimidated by a lot of it. So I was writing these things, and when we first started talking about doing it, it was last year at August, September, and the first idea was to get this in the can by December of that year.
And just for everybody at home, because I know by the time you hear this is actually October 2019. So when Mike was talking about August, he was talking about August of 2018. So we've already been over a year working on this, and
always talking on the phone. You and I have been phone friends for the last year.
Yeah, and it wasn't until the auditions that we actually physically finally met.
That was right.
Yeah.
That's like a month ago, right?
Yeah.
Maybe about a month ago.
Yeah.
Where we finally met in person.
I've been working on the Doctor Who audios in the UK, and that's part of the reason John knew I had the experience and asked me to come on and help out with Michael.
Yeah.
That's great. The trust level that I have in this process is through the roof. It is, I don't question anything. I'm completely present in this experience. It's because you're each holding it with such clarity and vision, and you'll have us come back and do it again a different way. I'm not worried one bit.
You guys have anything else you want to leave the audience with as far as closing thoughts?
Go read Ernie Pyle. Go read his pre-war stuff. It's a better entry point for Ernie Pyle. It's about America at that time, and go and read it because he's not political. He writes about the people in that time, and really, I challenge you not to see yourself in it.